up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dark Professor Dark Joker with this week's video. And this week is going to be a Kingdom Hearts video about a theory I have about the Door to Light. Like, what it is, what we know, what I think it is. I'm going to go over all that, how its role in the future games will be. So, with all that being said, on with the video. Here's what's known about it. So, Sora has been told that by his inner voice, then a dive to the heart, which is Mickey Mouse. As the Japanese version of the game shows, the English version keeps that voice silent. So that's why a lot of fans from English speaking countries don't know that that inner voice was Mickey Mouse. But yeah, so Mickey said it, said it, and then Sora, Donald, Goofy try to search for it in order to find Riku and King Mickey. And then after Sora reads Kairi's letter in Kingdom Hearts 2, it appears and he and Riku are led from the realm of darkness to Destiny Islands in the realm of light. So for my theory for the Door to Light, I think the Princesses of Heart created the Door to Light at the end of the Road to Light in Land Departure. As far as what the key to the Door to Light is, I think it was the player's heart. So the player from Kingdom Hearts Key, I think, you know, his heart was made the key, and it gave that player powers based on the connection of hearts. And, so we know the player reincarnates in Missing Link, becoming caretaker for Xehanort. And I think the player's connection with Xehanort allowed Xehanort to see the player's memories. Like we know it did allow the player's memories to be seen by Xehanort. And I think it was assumed by the player and that that it was Xehanort that had some power, and that Xehanort was the child of Destiny. Of course, we know Sora is the real child of Destiny, and I think, as far as when the player's heart was given that power, so we know that for what it looks like, the first reincarnation that the player went through was Missing Link, and so the player, and then what its heart was doing there in time. Who knows? It could have just been sitting there resting, and maybe the Princesses of Heart found it, was searching for a worthy heart to entrust the power of the Door to Light to, and found the player's heart while it was waiting to be reincarnated, and gave it that heart the power. And of course, having that power means, so when the player died again, the player reincarnated, and I would say reincarnated multiple times, eventually as Sora, the real child of Destiny. And Sora's Door to Light power, I would say, allowed Sora to heal Ventus's heart, at the beginning of Birth by Sleep, and of course the end of Birth by Sleep. And it allowed Ventus to guide Aqua to Land Departure. And of course, with Ventus's heart going inside of Sora's, that's due to the door to light power. It was it allowed Sora's heart to be like a shelter for Ventus's. And I think before the final battle against the 13 Darknesses, I think Sora will open the door to light to recomplete the worlds that were destroyed when Xehanort opened the door to darkness. So I think so with the door to dark. So because I think the reason why he'll open before is because I think what's going on with some of the worlds that were destroyed is what happened. So is basically what happened with Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1. So when Sora became a Heartless, Kairi gave him a new body, but his nobody still existed, which the nobody being Roxas. So Sora wasn't fully recompleted. That happened in Kingdom Hearts 2. When Sora basically, merged with Roxas, and Kairi, merged with Naminé, and so of course we know, Roxas and Naminé and Xion get replica bodies for their hearts to go into. And so I think that's kind of what's going on with the worlds. So end of the world is described as like the heartless of the worlds that were lost to darkness, and world never was is described as like the nobody of those worlds. So the heartless does not exist because the worlds were restored, but the nobody of those worlds still exists. So I think when Sora opens the door to light, that will fully recomplete the worlds, and that will lead to a world that never was disappearing. And I think the worlds not being fully recomplete is why there were worlds trapped in the realm of sleep. So Yinsen says that some of the worlds did not return completely. I think that is because of the door to light not being open. So and during this we know that they don't necessarily Sora and Riku do not necessarily go inside the sleeping worlds. Like they did open seven sleeping keyholes, gain the power of waking, but they did not, you know, basically go into the sleeping worlds. So, I don't think any of those worlds actually returned. So, but they still got the power of waking. And so when the door lights open, those worlds will actually all return. Like every single one of them will return. And when the door to light is open. And no reason why the door light will open before the final battle is because it's a defense mechanism. So with the worlds not being fully recompleted, if a final fight between the pure lights and pure darknesses happen, like a clash, that could really do some damage to the universe. And if the worlds are not fully completed, there could be a lot of damage done to those worlds. So I think it will be part of the reason Sora will open before is to make sure that he will be like that the worlds will be able to survive the final battle. And that's it. Did y'all like this video? Did you dislike this video? Do you agree with my theory about the door light? Do you disagree with my theory about the door light? Whether you agree, disagree, like this video, dislike this video, you can put all that in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Look forward to the next video.